Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make Dave's triple chocolate brownies. Dave again is one of the bakers from, I think it's 2020 is this book, The Love to Bake, Great British Baking Show. So we've got dark chocolate, two different percentages of dark chocolate. We've got milk chocolate and white chocolate. I think it's kind of four chocolates then, but first thing we're going to do is get our oven set to 180 degrees Celsius or 355 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we need to melt our butter. So I have 375 grams of unsalted butter, and I need to put it in my pan over here. And we are just going to get that melted down. Butter is all melted now. So we are ready to add our dark chocolate. So we've got 54% dark chocolate. I actually think mine's 53% because that's all we have on this side of the pond. And there goes my oven. So 375 grams of 54 or 53% dark chocolate. And it says roughly chopped. I just got the chocolate, like the chip version. It's pretty roughly chopped to me. It's you can get the bars here in the States, but it's just, I don't know, cheaper and more economical to get the chips. So that's what I did. So I just need to add it to the butter, and then I'll remove from the heat and stir until melted and smooth. So that kind of looks like the river from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. If you've seen the movie from, I don't know, was it the 70s? I don't even know, like the Gene Wilder version, not the Johnny Depp version. Anyway, it looks really good. I do need to leave this to cool slightly. So I need to crack my eggs. I have 6 eggs, and I've already cracked them just so you didn't have to watch me crack eggs. And I need to put it in, it says a medium bowl. I just went with a bigger bowl. I don't know. I can't imagine that matters. And I just like to have a little extra space because I make a mess. So I've got those, and it wants me to use a balloon whisk to mix in the sugar until combined. I'm not really sure what a balloon whisk is. I looked at it. Okay, so this is what I've got. I've got a silicone whisk. I've also got this metal one here. Okay. They're very similar. This one's slightly bigger in profile. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I think it said that they were supposed to be thinner. I don't know how much a difference that's going to be, so this one it is. But we are going to combine 350 grams of light muscovado sugar. No such thing as muscovado sugar in the States. So brown sugar it is, light brown sugar. Muscovado sugar apparently is like the unrefined, so it's like a natural sugar with molasses in it. And the best substitutes, according to the internet, were also sugars that are not available in the States. I'm not sure what it is about the unrefined sugars that we just don't have, or the, more natural ones. We just don't have them. So light brown sugar is as close as we can get. Yeah. I think the other sugar is like the muscovado is coarser, is what I think. I would love to know what it looks like. I guess I should do a little bit more looking into that. But I just need to whisk this until combined, I think. Yep. That looks combined to me. There's a couple chunks of the brown sugar, but it doesn't say to break it all up. It just says to combined. So gradually pour the melted chocolate mixture into the eggs mixture, whisking until smooth. So I guess this is the whole point of letting it cool for a minute, because if you have it too hot and then you pour it in, I imagine it would cook the eggs. So I can touch the bottom of my pan and it's not hurting me. It's actually barely warm. So I imagine this is cool enough. So we're just going to pour it in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big, brownie mix kind of person. Like, you buy the Duncan Hines or whatever off the shelf, Pillsbury, whatever your favorite one is. And then you just throw in the egg and the oil and, go from there. I think that's the usual way to do it in the States. We big on box mixes. We're not much from scratch. So I have never done brownies from scratch. So I was a little surprised at how much chocolate is in here. I mean, 375 grams of chocolate, and I'm not done yet. There's a lot more chocolate to go. So it was surprising. I'm not gonna lie. I think the mixes that I've used really just put like cocoa powder in them. So I will be very curious to taste how rich this is with all of this chocolate. Though I've been really impressed with how light some of these bakes are. They would be really heavy and like you would just feel really full if this bake was in the States. For whatever reason, the types of sugar, I don't know. They've been really like light tasting and good, like not like overly filling like you ate too much. So that's nice. All right, I've got this whisked until smooth. I guess I could whisk it a little bit more. And then I'm going to fold in my flour. I guess I don't want to get the air out of the eggs too much. So maybe I need to whisk it more so I got lots of air in my eggs. Though theoretically, brownies don't really rise too much. Okay, that's looking really delicious. I could kind of swim in that. Again, back to the Willy Wonka river. 225 grams of plain flour, all-purpose flour, and I also have half a teaspoon of crushed sea salt in my flour because it just says to fold it in at the same time. So I'm going to fold that in. Yeah, see, if I'd used a medium bowl, this would have been like overflowing. So I'm glad I went with my gut and went with the big one. Okay. It also said to use like a wooden spoon, like the type of spoon really mattered. So I don't know. They give a lot of specific utensils in this book. And I'm not sure if they're trying to be helpful or if they really do need that device, but okay, that's looking really good. Okay, I don't want to fold it too much for fear of, overdoing the eggs there. And I still have to stir in my other chocolates. So stir in the white chocolate and the milk chocolate until evenly distributed. So I've got equal parts, 150 grams of both white chocolate and milk chocolate. Again, I use chocolate chips. It says roughly chopped. Do what you wish. Okay, I think that's pretty evenly distributed. Let's see, and then we just pour the mixture into a line 10. So this bake called for a 33 by 23 centimeter tray bake tin. 23 centimeters is about 9 inches. 33 centimeters must be about 14 inches. We don't have a 9 by 14 pan. I have a 9 by 13 pan. That's the standard. So that's what I'm going to use. So mine are going to be slightly thicker than what should be. Again, it is greased and lined with baking paper to hold it in place. And I'm just going to pour it in there. Or more like slab it in there because it's thick. And again, look how full that bowl is. Like if I'd used a medium-sized bowl, it would be like over the brim. So use a large bowl. I don't know what your medium and large bowls look like in the United Kingdom, but someone saying that everything's bigger in the States is wrong. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of scoop this in. I'm making it kind of hard for you guys to see. I always set up my camera wrong because I'm right-handed and it makes it hard to show. I don't want to miss out on any of this goodness. Okay, I'm just going to try to level this out a little bit. It should kind of naturally fall into place as it bakes, but I don't want to have any part too thick. Okay, now it does give different baking times depending on your preference for how you like your brownies, so that's fun. We've got 25 minutes for very gooey brownies, 27 minutes for slightly gooey, and 30 minutes for slightly cakey. I'm going to tend toward the middle option, 27, maybe more like 28 minutes, just because mine are going to be slightly thicker than what they call for because of my size of pan. But otherwise, we're ready to go. We just got to put this in and then wait 27 to 28 minutes. That's what I'm going to judge for. Okay, the timer just went off. I'm not gonna lie, that was the longest 28 minutes ever. But let's take a look. It's still shaking. It's still like, visibly moving. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. Okay, they should be done now. Oh, it smells so good, like brownies in here. So what I did is I just waited until, see if you can see that, until a toothpick came out with some brownie stuff on it, but not like the wet batter. Because if I had pulled it out at 28 minutes, it was going to be like goopy on the inside. So I waited, I think the total time was 31 or 32 minutes in there for my oven. Again, I used a slightly shorter pan, so my brownies were slightly thicker than what the recipe calls for, but they look really good. I just need to let them cool before I pop them out of the pan. And then there's also a drizzle to go on top of this. So we've got one more step before we eat them. Okay, so the brownies are cooling. They look really good. I did get them out of the pan. A little bit of a trick to get them out of that deep of a pan, but I managed to do it. I've got to make a drizzle for the top just to give it a nice little finishing touch, I think. So I'm setting up kind of a double boiler system here. So I've got 1/4 of a teaspoon. I know it's impossible to see in here. 1/4 of a teaspoon of, I've got vegetable oil. It calls for sunflower or coconut oil. I was not going to go buy one of those for 1/4 of a teaspoon. So vegetable oil it is. So I'm just going to place that on top of my slightly simmering water. And then I've got 25 grams of 70% dark chocolate. This is where the 4th chocolate comes in. So I've got 70% here. All right, I can hear it simmering a little bit more. So I'm just going to get this melted. And then as soon as that's melted, I'm ready to drizzle it all over top of our brownies. All right, so the chocolate is melted and we are ready to look at our drizzling. It's looking really good. That oil, I guess, just allows it to be a little bit more liquidy than it would be. All right, so I'm just going to take my spoon here and I'm just going to, I don't know, just drizzle it. I'm not really going to worry too much about how it looks because it's brownies and they're going to get eaten anyway. Just make it look nice, I guess. Trying to decide. It doesn't necessarily say, to wait. You could put it in a piping bag, I guess, and then make it look really pretty if you wanted to do a certain design, but nope. Okay, I really like how that looks. A couple big chunks of the dark chocolate, which is fun, but it just looks really good. Like we should, get a knife and cut it open and taste it. Okay, everybody, we're ready to give our brownies a taste. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned that they're not quite done. Either that or they're just way gooier a brownie than I prefer, maybe is the best way to phrase it. Because this is a corner piece, okay? And so they're a little more baked around the outside. But I wouldn't pick this, like one of these other ones, I wouldn't pick up like that. It's still a little warm. I'm impatient when it comes to letting things sit and wait. Um, and so I want to taste it. So I'm hoping that the rest of it, if I don't cut it, and it'll cool and it'll be a little firmer. But these first couple pieces are a little gooier than I would like. So that was 31 to 32 minutes in the oven. If I did this one again, I'd probably cook it a couple extra minutes, unless, of course, when it completely cools down, it's a different story. But I'm still going to taste it because, it's brownie, and that's how I roll. I mean, so it does like hold its own. So maybe it's done, and it's just gooier than I prefer. But anyway, here we go. That is rich. It's really good. Don't get me wrong, really good. Yeah. The different chocolates obviously give you a very chocolate flavor, but I do I like that flavor. So I'm going to try a little bit of the outside just so it's a little less gooey. Okay, the texture around the outside part, that's more my style of brownie. But, if you prefer the ooey gooey ones, this is perfect for you. I think that if you put like a dollop of ice cream or whipped cream, and he does suggest that, like that they're really good with that, totally believe it. Just to tone down the chocolate, maybe just a hair, because like I've said in previous videos, I'm more of a vanilla girl myself, but this is really good. Chocoholic dream. But it's, like I said, one of those where you have to be patient to let it cool. The bake itself is pretty easy. Like you just kind of throw it all together. But other than that, the cooling time is what gets you. All right, so that was my latest bake on my baking challenge through the Love to Bake cookbook. If you got this far and you liked what you saw, please subscribe. Go check out some of my other videos. There's some really good bakes out there. And I also, while I was waiting for this to bake, I was looking at Dave, the guy who inspired this recipe, and he has his own YouTube channel where he's baking with a little boy, his son. I'm going to put him down in the description, like the link to his channel, so you can go check it out. Super cute. Anyway, I will see you next bake.